For nearly 2 decades, an anonymous letter writer terrorized the small town of Circleville, Ohio. They were sending messages that exposed secrets that no one else should have known. And in 1976, a lady named Mary Gillespie lived a quiet life there. She worked as a school bus driver. She had a husband, children, knew almost everyone in town. She lived a simple and seemingly happy life. Until one morning, she opened her mailbox like she always did, but this time there was a single letter in there. There was no return address, the handwriting was weird, and it felt off. Immediately, her stomach dropped because people had already whispered about someone sending these weird, threatening letters around town, accusing neighbors and ruining lives. When Mary read the letter, she knew immediately that she was being targeted. The writer was accusing her of having an affair with the school superintendent, and they claimed that they were watching her house, watching her children, and warned her that would be consequences if she didn't stop it. Of course, Mary swore this wasn't true. She even hid the letters from her husband, but they kept coming until finally one arrived for her husband, Ron. It simply said, "You either stop the affair or you will die." Ron, of course, believed his wife was being sincere, and he became absolutely obsessed with finding who this writer was. And then one night, his phone rings. He answers, listens silently, and then his face goes completely pale. Without saying a word, he grabs his gun, jumps in his car, and drives into the night. However, minutes later, his truck was found wrapped around a tree, and he was dead. Police ruled it an alcohol-related accident, but investigators discovered that Ron had actually fired a shot out of his gun just before he crashed. And of course, the letters didn't stop there. They then began accusing police of covering up his death. And then something even stranger happened. Months later, Mary came out and admitted that she had in fact begun a relationship with the superintendent, but she insisted that it happened after the letters started. Eventually, years passed, but the harassment only got worse. Letters kept coming, neighbors grew weary, until one day she got so annoyed, she stopped her bus while it's en route, jumps out, grabs one of these signs that are mocking her, rips it down, and behind it, she discovers a loaded gun that was rigged to fire at her. The police did fortunately manage to trace the weapon, and it belonged to a relative of hers named Paul Fresshauer. Paul was immediately arrested, and finally, the nightmare felt as though it was over. However, while Paul sat in prison, the letters kept arriving. Same threats and the same handwriting. Because whoever had been watching Circleville was never caught, and they may still be watching today.